Look, I know we're not that religious, but Mom and Dad made it a tradition. It's the one night a year we get together and have a nice, somber, Christian-y evening.
Well, that's pretty weird because historically, Christmas was actually a really raucous holiday, and most of our Christmas traditions have really unchristian origins. Here, I'll show you.
Ugh, animated? Really? I don't have time for this. But I always did relate to Peppermint Patty, Chuck.
The real story of the holiday season starts over 2,000 years ago, during the Roman Empire. In December, Romans celebrated a holiday called Saturnalia to mark the end of the harvest. It was a wild party involving gambling, singing, and even cross-dressing. And in Northern Europe, a drunken festival called Yule celebrated the birth of the sun. Families would burn the biggest log they could find and celebrate around evergreen trees to ward off winter depression.
I hate to burst your bubble, Chuck, but this has nothing to do with Christmas. December 25th is still Jesus' birthday.
Actually, no one really knows for certain when Jesus was born. But we do know that when Christianity took hold of Europe in the 5th century, some common folk refused to part with these pagan parties. So Christian leaders gradually transformed these popular traditions into a celebration of Jesus' birth.
Hey, you pagan freaks! My God was probably born today. This party's about Jesus now, okay?
Whatever, dude. It's turned up in this forest.
Inserting Christ into these winter festivals was basically a civic compromise. Make the party about Jesus, and you can keep getting jiggy with it.
Well, Chuck, sounds like that's when Christmas became the nice family-friendly holiday we know today.
Nope. It stayed a debauched, violent booze fest for a long time. For over 1,000 years, Christmas was more like a terrifying Mardi Gras. In England, drunken mobs would take over the streets, and a beggar would be crowned the Lord of Misrule.
I declare, all crime is legal. It's purge time, baby!
The mobs would bang on rich people's doors and demand to be served the best food and drink they had. And if they refused, they were threatened with Christmas violence.
Give me booze or I'll smash your face!
This actually looks kind of fun, Chuck.
I agree, but it certainly wasn't very Christian, which is why when Puritans came to America, they decided Christmas had no place in a Christian nation and banned it.
What? Christmas was illegal?
Yep. In some communities, if you exhibited Christmas spirit, you were even forced to pay a fine.
Rosy cheeks, jolly smile. Your fine is 5 shillings. 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and now I have to pay the fine too.
Thanks to the legacy of these rules, Christmas ended up pretty unpopular in America. But all that changed in the 19th century. As immigrants flooded into America, they brought with them a love of Christmas and their own traditions. These seeped into the popular culture, and a new American Christmas began to take hold. And now, we treat Christmas like it's always been a sacred Christian celebration. But the historical truth is, these winter festivities have pagan roots with drunken traditions that a lot of Christians straight up hated for like 1,000 years. Now look, celebrating Christmas as the birth of Jesus is a wonderful tradition, but it's just as historically accurate to get drunk in the woods or bang on a rich person's door and threaten them with violence. So instead of worrying that Christmas isn't Christian anymore, why don't we just let people celebrate the way they want?